What up? It's your boy, the Incredible Man, and yes, I am back at it again. And this is My Hero Academia Season 4, Episode 16, Discussion/Review. This season, actually, to me, man, it felt like it went by super fast. I guess maybe because we kind of handled everything in that first part, and they just kind of just wrapped it all up nicely. This episode was different, and I loved it. I would love to see more of these types of episodes in My Hero Academia. Normally we get our typical stuff, surrounding the UA students, but it's nice to see elementary school kids and then, the kids from the other school, and getting a different side and different story of the My Hero Academia world that we're not too privy to, that we're always getting. Normally it's just basically hero villain type stuff, UA, and then it revolves around class 1A. But this episode, we got to see some elementary school kids talk big stuff in this episode. Like, they were like, yeah, you guys suck. But we got to see elementary school kids, and we got to see UA and the guys from Shiketsu, I want to say that's the name of it. And we got to see like a different side of the My Hero Academia world. And we also have All Might and Endeavor having a wonderful conversation, and Endeavor coming out of his shell asking All Might, well, what is the symbol of peace? Now, I'm going to talk about the rest of the episode, but I really want to talk about that as well because, first of all, this side of Endeavor, we've never seen. Now, we noticed with All Might losing his powers and everything that Endeavor tried to be a different hero. And I love the fact that this episode, All Might told him he didn't have to change. He could still be himself because, let's be real, he needed to change maybe just a little bit because, that whole I ain't signing autographs and get off me and everything, that's his thing. So that may work for him, but he don't have to sign the autographs. He just doesn't have to be rude about it as well. He could just be like, well, I'm too busy. I got some other stuff to do. I can't sign autographs. And he doesn't have to be that chipper guy. And that's what All Might was trying to get across to him in this episode. And All Might was telling him that I didn't even know what the symbol of peace was. And he was saying that I abandoned friends. I shunned so much stuff. I took on everything, and I ignored signs and everything that was happening to me and to those around me. All Might broke it down for Endeavor. All of the other kids, and even in this episode, they proved that. Like, when Endeavor was speaking and shouting out to Todoroki, all the other kids were like, Endeavor, what is he doing here? But the moment they looked up and they saw All Might, they was like, oh man, it's All Might. Yeah, it's All Might. But what I'm saying is what All Might said. Endeavor, you don't be All Might. And yeah, people are going to compare him to All Might regardless. But don't be All Might. And I guess the only, real world aspect I can think of right now, and it's sad, because I didn't really want to have to think about Kobe again, man. But is with Michael Jordan, and then Kobe coming into the game, and it was like, oh, Kobe's kind of like Michael, but then Kobe set off and broke his own records and done his own thing. Then LeBron came in the game, and well, he's like Michael, he's like Kobe, but then LeBron came into the game and done his own thing. Endeavor, you can do your own thing. Don't be All Might, because All Might broke it down for me in this episode. Being All Might wasn't always a joy, man, because we saw All Might suffer and go through a lot of painful and hurtful moments, and All Might stated that, I've given up so much. I shunned my friends and everything. And even Endeavor mentioned Sir Night Eye, and they had a nice callback to Sir Night Eye. Saw a flashback with him, and it's always good to see Sir Night Eye, man. But I just really want to focus on that, and I want to see Endeavor be Endeavor. He doesn't have to be Endeavor All Might version 2 or Endeavor I'm going to be the symbol of peace. You could be Endeavor and save people the way that you want to save people and be the hero that you want to be and still be a different version of the symbol of peace. I'm just saying. That's just what I take. That's my take. But now, let's dive into everything else, man. So this episode picks right off where we have Todoroki and Bakugo and the other two guys from I want to say Shiketsu high school. I know their names. Kami and I can't remember his name. Anyway, the wind turbine guy. So they're taking their license exam along with a bunch of other random kids. Since their costumes, they're not even heavily detailed. They kind of just look thrown together. No disrespect to those guys, man, but yeah, we can definitely tell that they were background extras and they were just there for just to have it. So like, oh, well, we're not just focusing on these 4 kids. There's other kids here as well. But then we have Gang Orca kind of just trying to teach these guys, which is Bakugo and Todoroki and other guy, a specific lesson. You guys, you have the combat ability to be great heroes and be heroes as of right now in the moment. But at the same time, having powers and having combat ability and prowess isn't what it's all about being a hero. You need to have heart and consideration and everything for the people around you and the people that need saving and everything. So then he comes in, he brings in these kids. And these kids were okay, I know that they have the My Hero Academia spinoff, Vigilantes or whatever. I want a spinoff where they focus just solely on elementary school kids, because these kids are absolutely the bomb. I enjoyed these kids this whole episode. They were straight boss. The girls, when they were talking to Kami, like, don't be seducing him, and then all the guys calling Bakugo lame, calling Todoroki wee wee. These kids were absolutely wonderful, and they were the highlight of this episode. But then we have Todoroki trying to go into an expert, like, now they kind of are trying to, each and every one of them is trying to do their own thing to try to get these kids to sway to their side. And Todoroki, he starts breaking into like a lifelong monologue. The other dude, they just shut him down with his hopes and dreams. And Bakugo was like, you know what, I don't care, let's fight these kids. That's what I want, let's fight these kids. And then we have their sensei, and she was like, that these kids, they, you know, maybe with the whole losing All Might and their parents being concerned, and, you know, without having a symbol of peace and everything, and they can see the worry on their parents. And their sensei mentioned that with them being kids and, you know, them having quirks is in elementary school, it's very, very hard for them to, you know, kind of click. And, you know, they counsel these kids as much as they can because they all got different quirks, and, you know, that kind of reaches out for a little, not so much as prejudice, but not hate, as I don't want to say hate either, but, you know, just a little difference among the kids themselves. And they counsel the kids, but like it doesn't help as much. And then we find out that these kids seriously think that they're better than like the average heroes and Todoroki and everybody right now. And at the end of this episode, we see these kids getting ready to go into a full-blown fight with Todoroki and Bakugo and Kami and the other guy. Now, I can't speak for the Kami and the other guy, but we know that they are battle hardened and they're a little ready because we saw them, well, not the real Kami, but we saw the Wind Turbine guy in the first license exam. And, you know, he has skills. But we know for a fact Todoroki and Bakugo are battle hardened and actually have went up against like strong villains and held their own. So, like, let's be real. We know these kids can't compete with these people, but at the end of the episode, we see these kids like, well, you know, okay, well, we're gonna fight y'all, like for real. Like, we're ready to fight. They started unleashing their quirks and they're yelling and they're ready to attack Bakugo and everyone, and like they're like serious about it. And their teacher was like, well, no, they can't do that. Please stop them, because these kids actually think that they actually stand a chance against beating these guys, and they've had their quirk. I think they're like, what are they? First years high school, 14, 15. So they've had their quirks, you know, for years. So there's no way that these kids can beat them, and their quirks are all pretty powerful. What is Kami's quirk? I don't remember Kami's quirk. But anyway, their quirks are super powerful, and these kids cannot compete. But the other guy from the other school with the purple hair that can turn people in to the meatballs and whatever, stated something very wonderful in this episode, and I wanted to give a huge shout out to dude. He stated that, you know, let's say that these kids beat Todoroki and everyone. We don't see it happening, but let's just say that they do. That's going to boost their ego up, and that's going to just make them way more violent than what they are now. And, you know, it's just going to change their whole perspective 10 times worse than what they already are now. But if they lose, that's going to shoot down their confidence. They're not going to know what to do. They're going to be lost. So this is a lose-lose situation. There's no winning in this whole situation with them fighting Todoroki and Bakugo and everyone else. There's no way that they can win if that happens. But I enjoyed this episode. I really, really did. A lot of people may be like, well, they didn't like it, and they just ready to get back to all the main stuff and everything. But this was a nice side episode that I enjoyed. You can't really call it filler because I mean I feel like it's still part of the main story because they're trying to get their provisional license. But it was a nice side story, and I enjoyed every single moment of it. And let's be real, I need a spinoff with these kids, and it doesn't even have to be these particular kids, but just elementary school kids in the world of My Hero Academia, because these kids are absolutely boss, man. This is your boy Dick Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button till you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. And remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life, man. Peace out.